Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So today we're gonna have a different kind of day because today I'm just gonna be talking about the last 5 years and all the BS I had to go through. I'm also gonna talk a bit about my family and some of the things that I've had to deal and encounter, and what's been really challenging for me. So we're gonna get started. How is everybody? So we're also gonna play League of Legends. Before that, I'm going to tell you why the world is broken as we know it. So, let's go to my email. Let's hope that there's nothing weird in my email. Okay, so I grew up with both of my parents working. Okay, my dad's a truck driver, and my mom had various jobs in banking, in mortgage, in finance, and she even opened up her own business. Okay, so growing up, I'm going to talk about my parents. So my dad was never really around. All right, he was a truck driver, and not only that, but he was the oldest of 9 kids. So he was very much all about his other family more than he was like about his son. Okay, my mother, she loved to eat, and she was always working. So I was often always in the care of either my grandparents or my next door neighbor or other like different camps, and I was always really bullied bad, like harassed, bullied, made fun of for any reason whatsoever. What else? I was like a heftier kid too. Like my mom didn't want to have to chase someone, so she like just kept feeding me like sugar and sugar and sugar and sugar till I got kind of hefty, and then I couldn't really do too much. Right? I was kind of like limited. I wasn't ever put in sports. I wasn't ever put in clubs or anything like that. I had to go seek those things out in my like later years. But like as a child, like I really didn't have any choice. There really wasn't much to do. It was just video games and sitting at home. Everything was about being in my room and being alone and nobody else and just you. Okay, so I'm sure you can imagine what that leads up to in your later life. Like, I often try to, like, be alone by myself. Like, it feels like the norm because of all the time I felt like I spent alone as a child, right? So, anyway, fast forward. So, there's just like so much to like cover. But life is an interesting place, and I honestly feel like like I must have some kind of gift in order to have made it this far because of all the like really mean people out there and how they group up and how they can't do things alone. They have to always group with people to like get back at them or to hurt them or to like, and they derive like strange opinions from people based on very limited data sets, and everything is very much political fucking race in every avenue. Even in some of the jobs that I've had, it's like I went to school for 3 years to do this, and you're telling me I need to go and do 3 more years to do something like fucking identify the fucking axes and then also input a program. I need to go back to school to do that. They're like, yeah, you need to spend 3 more years to go back to school to put in a program into a machine and press play. Like that's all I needed to do. Like there wasn't really much to do other than that. Like, and everyone's trying to make these jobs out to be, oh, you have to know, and it's like, bro, I went to school, I know, I have a really great background. I'm a really good work ethic. I'm very professional. I'm really just about the job. There's so many things I want to talk about today, but I want this video to be mostly just about breaking the narrative, breaking the stories that are told amongst each other, because you want to know what? They're not 100%. And, I'm going to talk a little bit about the world war too. This war that's happened, you actually don't know. You weren't actually there. You didn't actually hear it. You don't actually know. All you know is that everyone picks sides, and all of a sudden this is happening, and all of a sudden you have no money, and everything is twice as much as it was, and half the fucking what it was that you were buying. Like, I used to get a full bag of chips. Now I'm paying $5 for fucking a quarter of a bag. Explain to me what I've done in order for that to have happened. Like, you guys think, like, you guys know, like, oh, I'm God, I know what's going on. It's like, no, you don't actually know. You weren't actually there. The stories that they're telling you about what's fair and who deserves what and who did what doesn't make sense. None of it adds up. All of it is just so bullshit to me. I don't understand how everyone could just do this kind of thing, and it's okay, and we're gonna do it for years and years and years. Like, why? We live in a world where we're all holding a smartphone. Like, literally, Vladimir could literally call up fucking Zelensky, and they could literally just end it right then and there. Like, there's no need for all this war and all this bullshit. And it just feels like, like, it feels like all of the people that we're, like, supposedly be wanting to be like are actually the people that you don't want anything to be like or to do, right? Like, you're thinking that these political leaders have the skill sets they need to be like professional in their workplace, but to be quite honest with you, if you did have the skill sets that you need to be successful, we wouldn't all be in this situation for so long. Like, maybe you guys aren't the strongest, like, leaders that you think you are. Like, that's what's really bugging me, is like, we live in this huge society of billions of people, and you think that these two guys, who obviously never had an opportunity to work with other people and lived like a very, like, different life than most people, do you think they're going to be able to talk or work together or even know how to do their job to the efficiency that is required? It's just come on, like, can we all just use our heads? Like, this isn't a beautiful world for anyone. Nobody's happy. Why don't we all just slowly start working towards something that we can all, like, benefit off of? Beyond me. So we're gonna rewind back to the beginning. The first chapter is probably gonna be I'm not a bully. So I never really bullied anyone, and I'm gonna give you an example of why I was never bullying anybody. So as a child, right, I was always very, like, go go go, like, never stop. So my mom fattened me up. So essentially, I was like 250 pounds for most of my childhood. I was a really hefty kid, and I was always being called fat and stupid and slow and, ugly and dumb and all this other stuff. And, oh, you're not picked and you're not chosen, and, oh, you're going to spend the whole day on the bench. You're never going to play. You're never going to go anywhere. You're just going to be benched because you're a fat slob, or you're fucking disgusting. You smell like shit. You look like shit. Why did you even come to school today? Why did you even go to work today? Like, why don't you go home? Go home. Go home. No one likes you. Go home. Like, yo, that was my whole childhood. Like, literally. Even up until high school, it was like that. It was so mean and so cruel. Oh, you're a fucking faggot. Did you know that you're a fucking faggot? My whole life, even in elementary school, every fucking day, you're fag, you're gay, you're so fucking gay. Did you know how gay you are? Like, no surprise, my later years, what happened. Like, the bullying that I've received from people in this community is, like, so unprecedented. Like, I would love to just give it back to you. You have no idea in my later years how badly I just want to give that back to you as a gift to you, so that you could listen to it every fucking day, nonstop, fucking every couple hours, the same fucking spiel of what you think. And, like, the best part about it too is everyone that I grew up with were extremely poor, extremely had nothing. Like, even to this day, still don't have anything, have nowhere to go, have nothing to do, no jobs, no careers, no volunteering, no helping your community, no fucking, like, none of it. Like, all these people that made fun of me, bro, they're fucking nowhere and nothing. And still, they keep fucking vouching about how I'm a bully and how I ruined their life. When in reality, it's like, yo, they must have had, like, some kind of, like, concussion, and they've switched the roles, because it's like, I have vivid memories of me being bullied my whole existence. Like, I didn't really even have any true friends. Like, I guarantee you they're all just bitches and bullies. Like, that was it. Like, um, So like that was growing up. Then I went to college. I made a lot of friends. A lot of people were really nice in college. But the biggest thing about college was I moved. I moved from where I grew up, and I moved all the way to another part of the world. I moved up to Barrie, and I made so many friends there. Like so many people, like were so interesting and fun to hang out with, and whatever else. And yeah, it was like really fun. Then after that, I went to school in Toronto. I lived in Toronto for like 8 or 9 years. But like through all of my experiences, like I was always volunteering. I was always working multiple jobs with youth. I was always, you know what I mean? I always had a lot of things going on. So I would work at the school gym. I would work at the local mall, and then I would work at the local bar. And so I would literally be bouncing from job to job to job, and I made some really good coin. Like I made like relatively good cash. Mind you, like I was always go go go, and I between the assignments and the work and working out and eating right and cooking, like I lived a busy life, and I prospered. I did really well, and you know, in my later years, I hear all these people and all they know how to do, and again, like the narrative, like this episode, all they know how to do is take a story and warp it and change everything so that I'm the bad guy. And they seek to go into everything where I'm always the bad person, I'm always the wrong guy, and I always made the mistake, and I always did this, and I always did that. But they never own up to their mistakes, and they never talk about what they did wrong, and they never talk about all the bullshit they did to me and all the trouble they put me through. And like today's episode, we're really gonna go through a lot of things that are gonna make sense of a lot of aspects of my life, into which you probably want to know more information. But essentially, I'm gonna really go through it. I'm gonna talk about everyone in my family and everything that we've been through, and like I'm not leaving the house. Fuck that. Fuck that. So let's talk a bit about. So we talked about how I was a fatter kid, right? So I had relatives in my family who were fatter than me and bigger than me and uglier. So I have I have like a giant family. I've got my dad's side, I got my mom's side. I'm not really going to talk too much about my dad's side because I very seldom spent any time with that side. Like my dad was very much like kept me on the outside, like didn't want me to get involved with that side of the family. I'm sure that there was various reasons why, but yeah, I didn't really spend too much time with them. Um, I heard so many stories from my mom. I don't know if they're real or whatever, about like my dad's sisters being so jealous of her and stealing from her and taking from her and stuff and lying and causing all this drama. And so I can only imagine, like my dad's side is nine like brothers and sisters. I think there's 4 girls and 5 guys. So I can only imagine like that's a lot of people, and you want to know like they didn't come from a structured family. Like my grandfather was like very abusive apparently, so it was a really broken home. So every story I could imagine coming from that avenue isn't gonna be 100%. Like everything is gonna be a manipulation. Nothing's gonna be like what you would go off of, but like something that you would keep in the back of your mind on the back burner as like something to refer back to, right? But anyway, so that's my dad's side. My mom's side, she had 2 sisters, and her father died when she was young. And so my mom has definite daddy issues for sure. Definitely. She married my dad, and my dad was a truck driver and always on the road. So I can imagine how that could be tough, right? And my mom never really moved on after that. And what's really strange to me is in my community, I have all these people preaching about what I need to do, and if you don't do this, and if you're not in a relationship, then you need help, and it's like, yo, why doesn't anyone say this to my mother? She hasn't been in a relationship for like 40 fucking years. No one says a fucking word to her. No one says nothing. But to me, it's like every single person I come into contact with is like, here, let me find you someone. Let me find you somebody. And it's like, I don't get it. It's like, why can't I just be single? Why can't I just be like Carrie Bradshaw? Why can't I just be Sex in the City? Why can't I? Why can't I? I just want to be Sex in the City. Like, And they're like, no, you need a wife and a child. Let me find it for you. Let me find it for you. It's like, girl, I just want to be fucking Kim Cattrall. Like, let me be Kim. Let me be Kim Cattrall. Damn it. Oh, it's so frustrating to me. It's like, yo, I just want to have fun. That's it. You know what? If my cousin, like, you have to understand too, like, my family, there's two sides. So my grandmother, sorry, my mom had two sisters. One of them's really poor and one of them's really rich. The really rich one got really fucking tired of being really rich and had a kid, okay? The other side, they're really fucking poor and really fucking boring and really fucking ugly and really fucking mean and cruel and racist, and they need to instill that every meeting they get. Like, if they were to go to a Chinese, let's talk about going for sushi. We're gonna go for sushi. We walk through the door. You're a fucking chink. Oh, you're a fucking, slanted eye motherfucker. Did you know? And you're looking at your family like, yo, I just wanted to eat. I just wanted to eat today. Like, that's all I wanted. Like, you could leave your fucking bullshit at home. Oh, I just think that you're fucking stupid because you're Asian. You don't belong in our country. Like, this is my family. This is, like, one side of my family. Fucking Mark, David, Tom, Linda. Like, that's the kind of people that you're gonna get. Oh, you're a fucking black guy. Did you know you're fucking black? No one likes you because you're black. Did you know that? And, like, you know what? I spent a majority of my life fucking hovering around them. Oh, please don't say that. Oh, please don't say that. Oh, don't say that. That's gonna really upset some people. Like, that's not politically correct. That's not nice. That's not the way that we do things. Like, we're Canadians. We're not supposed to be talking like that. We need to, like, when you're trying to always instill peace and prosperity and honesty and truth and like, like unity, and we're all together, we're all one, we can all be a team, we can all look out for each other, we can all, you know what I mean, help each other out. Like, if we all help each other, then we all get through, like, we all make it on, like, like, why don't we all be a team? No, 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 we can't, because one side is completely fucked and they'll never be better and they're always going to be miserable, and nothing you do and nothing you say is going to help them, because they're like that. They're really like that. They're so like that. I'm going to tell you. So they actually told me and gave me warnings. They said, if we ever see you with any Asian or any person that isn't black, or sorry, isn't white, we're gonna make sure you know it. We're gonna make sure that you really hurt. Like, I would never be seen with someone that isn't white. So if we see you, just know that, like, you're gonna be in trouble. Like, we're gonna really fucking make you hurt. Like, we're gonna beat you up, kind of thing. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, we live in a multicultural society. Like, why are you so racist? Why are you so racist that you're, like, telling me that you're threatening my life over my friends? Like, I went to school too at George Brown College, downtown Toronto. I don't know if anyone's been to Toronto, but it's a very multicultural place, okay? There's a lot of different people, and you want to know what? I love multicultural. I love different people. I love when we all come together and we can all share our experience. Like, I think that makes us strong as a people. I think that makes us beautiful as a people. I really love that, right? Unfortunately, my mother and her sister Linda and her cohort of people don't feel that way, unfortunately. And it's really made things really challenging for me because I make so many various friends. So there was a time where I was driving, and, like, I know I've heard this story so many ways. Like, they're like, oh, you threw a rock through someone's windshield or through someone's window. Did you know that, John? Did you know? And it's like, bro, like, you're warping this story completely. That never happened. There was no rock through the windshield or through their window. There was a rock through my windshield when I was with my fucking friends, Lewis and Sid, okay? Me and Lewis and Sid are driving on the 401 going to Rattlesnake Point because we're going to take a hike. That was, like, our thing, okay? And for some reason, on the 401, everything came to a halt, and this rock came flying through my fucking windshield. Like, someone got out of their car, picked up a rock, and whipped it into my fucking windshield. And it was lucky that I wasn't driving. You know what I mean? Because what if we got into a car accident and we all died? But you want to know what? After you get threats from your family about how they're going to beat the shit out of you or ruin your life if they see you with someone that's multicultural, it really kind of warps you, and it makes you think, like, like wow, my own family is going to fucking hurt me because I'm with someone that they don't want me to be with. Like I'm almost a fucking dog and I'm fucking have a leash and a collar and I can only do and say and be with people that they choose for me. Like, do you know how fucking crazy that is? It got really bad, so I'm gonna tell you how bad it got. So every story's now warping. Jonathan's bullied me my whole life. John's a bully. It's like, bro, I've gotten bullied my whole life. Like every story that they tell now, everything is warped. So I'm the bad guy, even though I'm the other side. Like, I was bullied. I had a rock through my windshield. Like you didn't get a rock through your window. I got a rock through my fucking windshield of my fucking car, and I had to get it fucking fixed, and I had to go through my fucking insurance. Like, you know what I mean? But no, no. Let's warp all the stories. Okay, sure. So that's like my family. That's what I've been fucking dealing with. It's been really challenging. It's really sad too that the poorest people are the meanest, fucking cruelest people. But that's another fucking truth. Um, it's just really frustrating to me. Um, so as a child too, I used to have my uncle, and he used to talk to me a lot about like sex stuff. And I always used to say like, I don't really want to talk about this, or this is kind of like inappropriate. Like we're related. And so like my uncle Tom would often ask me for sex as a kid. He would often say, "Oh, this is my special spot, my special place." And oh, let's go to the basement together. Let's all go to the basement. But then Mark and David would have to go to sleep, so it would be just me and him. And there's so many instances like in my life where nothing really makes sense. So like my uncle used to say to me things like, I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I've always been this way. My arms are that of a woman, my legs are that of a woman. I was born this way. Like we should play around. No one needs to know. It's going to be our secret. I love you. I love you so much. Like, you should know that. We should, definitely be having sex. We should have sex. Come on, let's try it out. I've always wanted this for you. I've always had feelings for you. In the same breath, too, he's like crying about how his wife is fucking everyone on his hockey team and how she's fucked all of his friends and how he has nobody that he can go to because his wife's fucked them all and how she's continuously fucking his friends and how his friends tell him about it and how he hates it and he hates his life and there's nothing he can do about it. And I'm just looking at him like, yo, I don't want anything to do with you. Like, I don't even want you to come over to my house. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be your friend. Like, I'm only here because my mom doesn't have anywhere else for me to go. Like, and she has to work all these jobs to support her lifestyle. Like, that's it. Like. And oh my god, the stories. So like, if people are like wondering about me, it's like, bro, it's like I have a lifetime of people telling me that they're a woman trapped in a man's body. Like, so I don't really know anymore. Like, if you feel like a woman and you want to dress like a woman, like it doesn't do any damage to me. It doesn't really bother me. Like, go do what makes you happy. If your wife is fucking everybody, like I can only imagine that's why you'd want to be a woman. Like, I don't know. Like everybody wants to have fun. Like but yeah, like I'm all about like live and let live, like you know what I mean. But whatever, teach their own. I know this person's probably looking for. Yeah, so there's that. Like this guy's like wanting this relationship for me. I'm like, no, 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 no. And then even after the fact, like I remember there was so many times like in my like, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 where it's like when I'm alone with this person, they're like, winking at me, trying to touch my hand, trying to touch my toe, oh. Oh yeah, then his wife too. I talked to my Aunt Linda and I'm like, your husband's really like going through it. He says that you're fucking all of his friends. And then she does one of those fucking laughs and she's like, oh my god, not all of them. Da 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 da. Like, it was like so mean, and you know she's so cruel to him. Like I can only imagine like you know why this guy is the way he is, and like why he's like a fucking pedophile. But yeah, like my aunt like literally was like, oh what, you don't find your uncle sexy, you don't think your uncle is sexy? I'm like, I don't want to fuck my family. I don't want to fuck my family. Like that's what I'm putting out there. Like I don't want to fuck you, I don't want to fuck your husband. So my aunt has like big knockers, right? So then sometimes too, she'll like let her nipples slip or like flash me her tits and stuff. And I'll be like, you know, like I don't find that attractive. I don't think that's fun. Like I don't even want to be around you. Like I don't think it's appropriate. Like, you know, like have some class. Like be a classy person. Have some respect for yourself. Like, you know, you don't need to fuck all your husband's friends. Like I don't know. Despite popular belief, you don't need to fuck all your husband's friends. Like I don't know. Like he's crying about it. Like did you know he cries about it? Yeah, he's really upset about it. Like I don't know, like, oh, why I'm in this situation. I don't know. I'm a child, but like, I have to deal with you like I'm a therapist. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so my aunt is trying to set up this three-way. Like, oh, me and your uncle, we should all have like a sleepover. Why don't you sleep over one night? I'm like, why am I doing that? Why would I want that? Like, you can't even, you don't even have like respect for yourself. How would you have respect for me? Like, think about it. Like, come on. If you can't do it for yourself, how are you gonna do it for me? But anyway, so like that's one side of my family that hates me. And you want to know why? Because I didn't put out. Like it's not like I didn't get them a present. I didn't get them. I didn't do my duty. I didn't fucking take care of them. It's like, bro, they're all asking me for sex. Like all of them. Even David too. Like he's asking me like, oh, I want you to be my first. Oh, please, I've never done this before. I'm like, why would you ask me? And not only me too, but he's even asking Lauren too, my other cousin. And you know, he's playing with the dog, and he's like, we're like, okay, can you stop touching the dog? Can you leave Tango alone? And it was like me, Lauren, and Mike, and we're all like, "Can you please just leave the dog alone? Can you please stop like licking the dog's ass and the dog's like dick? Like, can you just stop trying to kiss the dog? Like, can you leave the dog alone, please?" And he's like, "No, he likes it. No, my parents always record me in dogs like this. Like, I don't understand why you're having a problem with it." And we're all just looking at each other like, "What the fuck is going on in this house? Like." Why is this happening? Like I don't even know. And the dog too is like showing his teeth and like trying to like, you know, get away and is trying to seek to be away from this person because he doesn't like what he's doing, you know? And it was so fucking gross, like the whole thing. Like, you know, there was a reason why they never came around, and it was like because they always had a fucking problem. Like, sorry, you weren't invited because you have fucking problems. Like, go figure. So, so I've talked a bit about my family. Lauren was really great. Me and Lauren, she was kind of like my older sister, and she was like really fun to be with. And you know, she really got my back a lot of the time, and I really trusted her. So like one of my best friends in high school, Mike, and so then I had another best friend, Godwin. They both dated my cousin Lauren. So I was kind of always like, you know, a third wheel. But at the same time too, like she was really nice about it, and she like always like, you know, always made sure that I was kind of looked after. And so like I'm always gonna remember that. I'm never gonna forget like how like super kind she was, and like you know the extent of which she went for me. You know, even when I was in like a tough situation, or like you know there was times too like you know I don't know, I'm like a guy, so I love to go fast. And so like even on the boat, right? Like we're sailing and she's telling me like let go of the sail, and I'm pulling that sail in. Like I wanna fucking go, girl. Like let's see how fast this bitch can go. Let's get her up on like one side. Like let's show these people like boating in Lake Menominee. Like let's do it. And she's like, no, why are you doing this? And then boom, we fell over, capsized. Like, you know, I'm probably not an easy person to get along with. I just want to have fun. But, like, at the same time, like, I make tons of mistakes. Like, I'm not a perfect person. But yeah, like, you know, capsizing is one of those things. And she was so pissed with me. Like, she did not want to get wet. And, Yeah, like there's been multiple times where we've capsized and she was so angry. But whatever, whatever. She's over it. Uh, what else? So also too, so like Lauren and Mike, they love to smoke weed sometimes. So like when we're at the cottage, well, okay, so we're probably like 19, 20. No, we're in our 20s. We must be like 22 or 22, 23. And like, I wasn't smoking weed until like I was at least like 20, 21, 22. Like I think 22 I started smoking weed, okay? Like later in my life. And it wasn't like an everyday thing. It was just like a once in a like lifetime or once in like a blue moon, right? When I first started, it wasn't until I was like maybe 25, 26 where I met a few people and I was working in the industry. And like when you work in the industry, it's just like doob after doob after doob after doob. But like the thing about it, just like alcohol, is like you get it used to it. And so like then you don't even get high anymore. Like you smoke it and you're just like, oh wow, next smoke it like nothing. It just completely doesn't do anything. Like it just, and you've already smoked like seven and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like I didn't even get anything. Like I'm ready to go. So so then I went to, so then we would do this thing and we were at the cottage where we would hop on a canoe and we would canoe out to the middle of nowhere and we would spark a little doob and pass it and we'd be like, oh my god, this is so nice. Like this is so nice. Too bad everyone in our family is so angry and freaking weird about weed, but whatever. So yeah, we always had to like hide and be secretive about smoking weed. And it was like really fun that way too because we had to be really creative and how we would hide it and do the kid and like roll it. And don't get too high and are you too high and we can't go back yet if you're too high and you're laughing too much. And like Lauren is so funny, but she had a daughter now and I feel like everything is just very political. Like very, very like, like I have a daughter so we can't have fun. Like, and she's always watching. So but anyways, she has a beautiful family and I'm very proud of her and I think the best of her and like only good things. So all right, so I've talked a bit about my family, so we're gonna move on from that, and we're gonna go into uh, the last. We're gonna say the last what, 4 or 5 years? Yeah. So, so I had a boyfriend before when I lived in Toronto, and when I moved back to Mississauga, I was like, this is gonna be weird because I'm gonna be living with my mom, and she's kind of expecting a different kind of lifestyle, and I think it'll be really difficult for me to bring you along because my mom is like, she's very critical, like, even like with her friends too, like there were certain people of her friends where she's like, you can't be with them, you can't have sex with them, you can't hang out with them, don't call them, don't text them, they're my friends, that's my friend's daughter, that's my friend's son, don't even message them. So it's really challenging, right? Then it's like, oh, John, I don't think white people and black people should date. I don't think white people and black people should fuck. That's my mother. And I'm like, okay, because all your friends are black. So I'm like, why would you say that? Like, why don't we broaden our like horizons and why don't we like, get out there, like play the field, right? Don't put all of our eggs in one basket. My mom is all about telling everybody to not put all of their eggs in like one basket. Mind you, all of her eggs are also in one basket. Coincidence? I don't know. So, I'm like, let's be more friendly. Let's be more like, you know what I mean? And she's like, no, they're my friends. They're not your friends. I don't want you around. Don't come around anymore. Da 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 da. Like, I'm like, okay, so like, first off, you want to bring me around your friends. Now you're telling me you don't want me around your friends. I'm like, okay, fine, not a big deal. Like, I like, I've never had like people being owned by other people, but like that is like a North American thing for sure. Like owning people and oh, they're my friends, not your friends. Like that's really weird to me, but whatever. Okay, so that's my mother. So then my mother gets into this zone where she's like, you need a wife and a child. You need a wife and a child now. Do you want me to find you one? Because I can find. And it's like, girl, look around you. There's millions of fucking girls. There's millions of girls with kids. There's millions of people out there. Like, can I just enjoy my fucking life? Like, and she's like, no, no, no. Like, we need this. If you don't have a wife and a kid, if you don't have a wife and a kid, then you have a mental problem. And I'm like, I don't have a mental problem, but sure, put me in front of a doctor and let's see what he has, right? Let's see what he can go off of, given the fact that nothing's wrong with me and all the blood work and everything is going to show that I'm 100% A-okay. I'm like, I'm so confident in my ability. I went to school for mechanical engineering, art fundamentals, and aviation management. I've had multiple jobs. Everything's so easy for me. So it's going to be really challenging for you to do anything, right? Not the case. So she takes me. So first off, she complains about walking. She complains about her heart. She's complaining about, not having the dexterity to work a full day and always being tired. And so she's like, I need to go and see this special doctor. I need to see this doctor. I'm like, okay, sure. So we go and see this doctor, right? As soon as we go in, she starts saying, "Oh, my son, this is actually for him. This whole thing is for him. He doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he's been molested, and I drug his food. I've been drugging his food since he was a child." So, as soon as she said that, it was like I got taken to like this other, like, what is that called? Like an intake, and they're asking me all these questions, and they're doing blood work, and they're like, asking me what drugs I'm on and what drugs I have available, and what's going on with you, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm here for my mother. I don't know why I'm here, you know. So then I waited for like maybe an hour, 2 hours, in this room, and like people are screaming for like, and apparently I asked him like, this guy's been screaming for a long time. Like, how long has he been screaming for? One of the nurses is like, oh, like 4 hours. I'm like, I don't think it's healthy for someone to be screaming for 4 hours. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna do something about it? No, there's nothing I can do. I'm like, so you're gonna listen to this guy scream for 4 hours? And they're like, yeah, like there's really not much that I can do. I'm like, so like this is Cam H. You guys are literally putting people in a position where and he's screaming, help me. And I'm like, can I go see this person? Like he needs help. Like I want to see what you guys are doing to this person. And then she's like, no, you can't leave this room. You can't leave this room. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing to this guy that he's screaming for 4 fucking hours? Like there's got to be a reason for it. Like I want to know, like, what is it? Like is he like, being tortured? Which I like honestly feel like everyone in KMH is tortured. I've taken my boss there. My boss has even said the same thing. Okay, so I was there for like 2 hours in this waiting room. There's people drooling. There's people in the corner shaking. This other person, I had a conversation with them, and they were telling me that demons are chasing him and are out to get him. So like I can understand, like, there's a variety of people there, right? Um, and like, the look on his face, like it was a reality for him that there is something, a force out there that is coming to get him, right? And like, I can really sympathize for those people, and like, I really wish that they could get the help that they need. But to be quite honest, from what I experienced at Cam H, I don't think it's a facility for mental health. I think it's like a torture fucking company. I feel like they just torture people and they make money off of it and they profit off of torturing people. I honestly and truly believe that to like my soul and my heart. From the various things that I experienced with these people and these doctors, like I guarantee you, like it's just a scary, scary, scary place. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I wouldn't recommend it to go for help. I wouldn't recommend it as like a place to donate money to. I honestly feel like all those doctors should be seriously evaluated and seriously reported on. I think that they should get looked into for the pharmaceuticals they prescribe people. They should get looked into the amount of money they get back for those pharmaceuticals. They should look into why they're taking the drugs that they're taking, the amount of side effects with all the drugs that they prescribe. Like, there's so many things with this company that like really boggles my mind that this is appropriate and they get away with it, but they do. They get away with. So then this doctor comes. His name is Dr. Kupafran. He's only been a doctor for I think it was like a year or 2 years at that point. Just graduated from his practice or from his his degree, and this is his first like in his like first practical, right? So I'm in this room with him, and he's like, tell me a bit about yourself. And I'm looking at him, and he's writing all this stuff down before I'm even talking. I'm thinking to myself, like, what is he writing? And I'm looking at it, and he's like, he's like trying to put me away. Like he is trying like his very best to write up a report that is deserving of me to lose my license and to lose everything. So, and every time I speak, he like reiterates the sentence to make me look like I have problems. Okay, great example. I'm like, I used to work out every day a couple times. I used to work with children. I used to have a couple of jobs. I'm very athletic. I've done triathlons. I've done open water swims, like 10K open water. The gym's being closed. I don't really have much of an outlet. There's really not much for me to do with COVID, right? So that whole sentence I just said, you know what he writes down? Jonathan's mental capabilities are too difficult for him to maneuver, and it's difficult for him to access, or difficult for him to have an outlet to express himself. Like everything I said to him, it's like he would manipulate the whole thing so that it's not even what I said. And so now there's this report of complete lies, and it's more than just him. It was more doctors than that. That's all they do there is manipulate everything you say to them. So then there's this report. It's like, okay, so tell me about your eating. I'm like, I eat every meal. Oh, well, your mother didn't say that. Your mother says that you don't eat. I'm like, I know. My mother wants to feed me fucking drugs and stuff. So I have a full credit history and like bank report of me eating out like every meal so that I can pull it up and show it to you. Like Harvey's, Wendy's, Burger King, Subway, um, I'm eating out every fucking meal, and I have a list of it to show you that I'm eating every meal. They're like, why are you eating out so frequently? I'm like, because my mom's drugging my food. She's putting fucking shit in my food. She's telling me to eat everything. I'm biting in and I'm feeling fucking weird shit and weird consistencies and when I'm chewing. Like, great example, when you're eating meatloaf and you find something hard and white like a pill in the middle of what you're fucking eating. Like you're a fucking dog. Like, there's so many things that it's like I don't understand why it is that no one went to jail for this. I don't understand why my life was so impacted by this. Like I've lost literally over a year of income because of this, and I'm never going to see that. I'm never going to get any justice for any of this. Like, you know what I mean? All I have to do and all I can do is just talk about it until I feel better about it, which is what I'm doing right now. I know this person's like begging me. I need to talk on my channel, so you're gonna need to move on without me. So I'm in this doctor's office, and he's warped everything now. He's like, oh, I'm gonna have to take your license away. I'm like, why are you gonna take my license away? That's how I make money. At the time too, I'm like doing DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, Lyft, Amazon, like I'm doing all these different door jobs and like driving jobs. So and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pull your license. So he pulls my license. Then I go home. I'm like defeated. He prescribes me this medication. I look at the medication. I look up the side effects. It's like neck spasm, night terrors, problems eating, problems sleeping, fissures. You can't hold anything. You can't. What is it called? Seizures. When like all the like side effects outweigh anything that could ever come of good from this thing. Like that's where I was at. It was like they're prescribing me poison. Like they just want me to die. Like that's literally what this is. Like, and he's getting away with it. Like with all these other people. Like I don't understand it. It's like I don't have any mental problem. I don't have any reason to be here. So like that's gonna show through, and you're just gonna look like a fucking idiot when this is done. Like that's how I'm thinking about it, right? And so no, now they're calling me back. They're like asking me to have these interviews during work hours, and they're calling me consistently at work, and I have to have these long meetings, And all the questions they're asking me are like about sex. Like, how big is your cock? How many times can you come? How often can you come? How much come and how much do you? And my boss is listening to this and he's like, I'm so uncomfortable. I am so uncomfortable listening to this. Can you pick other questions? And the whole time, too, in all the interviews, my boss is like, this has nothing to do with mental health. These questions have nothing to do with the mental health of this person. Why are you asking these questions? There was a part, too, where the doctors then started saying to me, you need to come in and provide a special favor. If you don't come in and provide this special favor, aka I have to go in and fuck these female doctors, if you don't come and fuck us and knock us up, then you will never get your license back. I don't know who you're going to talk to, Jonathan, but you will never drive ever again unless you come and fuck us in our office. That's what they're saying to me on the phone at work in front of my boss. I'm like, are you for real? Like, you're asking me for a special favor? Like, I'm just looking for you to do your job. There's nothing wrong with me. I've worked all these jobs. I now have a job in as a what is it called, machine operator. I'm making a lot of really good money. I'm getting a lot of raises. So there's really no reason for you to be treating me like this, and you can just give me my license back. They're like, no, we're never going to give you your license because we need you to perform sex. Like, we need you to have sex with us. And if you're not going to, then you're never going to get your license back. And I was like, okay, so this is Cam H, okay? And I've heard the same story from a lot of people, okay, that they're like that. So then I went and I found another psychologist, a professional psychologist of 45 years in the industry. And both me and my boss sat down for what felt like 2 hours. And there was times where my boss left the room and I answered a bunch of questions, and there was another time where he moved, and then there was another period where he moved me into another room and I had to do 3 different written tests. You know, at the end of that whole meeting, he was like, wow, you're really smart. You're really like with it. I think you're going to do great in your job. He wrote up this giant report about me, which like I keep and I refer to often because it was such a win in my world, you know, to be treated with respect finally after not being treated with respect for so long. And so, you know, so like, yeah, like, you know, honestly, when I got that report, it was just such a like, you know, win for me. Like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, you know, like, you know, the end of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man that came out with Doctor Strange, you know how it was like everyone forgot who he was, like Peter Parker? That literally was what it felt like when I got that report. It literally felt like, you know, the movie just ended and like now I have to start a life and all these people forgot everything about me and like they're running off all these weird scripts and now I have to fix everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it felt like. It was so strange. Like, you know, there's all these people in my life where it's like I went the mile for, I went the distance for, like, you know, I went and I helped when I didn't need to, like, you know, I helped them move, I helped them do this, I helped them do that, you know, and the only thing I needed from them was a signature. That's all I needed. And you want to know how they treated me? They treated me like fucking the shit on the bottom of their fucking shoe. Oh, please don't contact me anymore. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you in my life. Please leave me alone. I'm like, okay, well, I was just looking for you to help. Like, I'm trying to, yeah, you need help, John. You need serious help. You need to go get help from people that can help you because I want nothing to do with you. And it's like, wow, why am I getting treated like this? Like, you used to be cool and now you're a fucking prick. And they're like, yeah, I just don't care to have you in my life. And it's like, you know, I worked really hard my whole life for my community and for these people in my life. And you want to know what? Like, even in these people from high school and stuff, like, I worked so hard. I worked way harder than you. I actually volunteered. Like, you know, all the people in my high school, they have this, like, oh, I did 40 hours of community service. It's like, bullshit. Bullshit. You didn't do fuck all. You don't volunteer for your community. All those hours that you wrote up, you just literally grabbed a piece of paper and you wrote it on a piece of paper and handed it fucking in. We all know it. Why don't you fucking do yourself a favor and go and do some fucking actual community service? You know, like, you think that the people in your high school are good people and very kind and courteous, but you want to know what? Everyone fucking throws up this banner of Christianity, and then they fucking walk with the fucking devil and preach the fucking devil's fucking ass. Like, I don't understand how we live in a world like that, but we fucking do. You know what I mean? Jesus literally threw money out of the church for a reason. And guess what? Every fucking church service, all they do is collect theirs. Explain to me how that works. Explain to me why the Vatican is covered in gold. Explain to me. And they all fucking walk like they're higher than holy. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, yo, you don't even have any powers. It's not even like you can do anything. Like, you literally just have fucking money you don't deserve. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. And if God was to come back, and if Jesus was to be resurrected, guess what? You'd be the first to catch flame. Like, you get that, right? Like, you're fucking nothing. It bogs my mind that this even happens, like, to today, but it does. It really does. Just everyone is just so fucked, and they all feel so deserving. Oh, I'm so deserving. I'm so deserving. Like, bro, you're deserving of the floor that you walk on. That's it. So that was Cam H, and so that was that whole scenario there. There was jobs too when I was going to Cam H, and like, so I had this boss. He was out in Burlington, and I really liked him, and I really wanted things to work out. And his name was Vladimir, and he was such a sweet dude, and I really, really like for what he did for me and like the work and stuff. Like I really cared for this person. But like what happened is like the whole Cam H thing and not having a license and driving out to Burlington without a license and like there was times too where like I almost got stopped by a police officer and it was like the scariest fucking thing. Like if you drive without a license, it's literally like $5,000 fine, like, and it just got the stress from living a fake life, trying to just make it, like fake it till you make it. Like it was like so difficult. And so I literally just said to him, like, you know what, Vlad, I'm so sorry. I can't do this anymore. Like, I want to be able to do this, but, like, like, this is challenging. Like, it's really challenging, like, trying to get to work every day. And, like, Vlad didn't know that I was going through all that stuff with Cam H and my mother and all that other stuff. I didn't even know how he would take it, right? And so, like, I have all this going on in, like, the back of my mind while I'm trying to, like, perceive and trying to, like, be this, like, oh, everything's normal, everything is fine. Like, do you know how challenging that is to like have so many things that are going fucking south and like in your heart that if anything happens, like how are you going to explain this, like how are you going to keep it going, like how are you going to be able to do it all, like like I was just sitting there thinking in my head like if they only knew, if they only really knew what I'm really dealing with, like if they only really fucking had a clue of what is actually going on. Like, I wonder how life would be. I wonder how things would go. Like, I wonder if he would fire me instantly. Like, it was so challenging. I remember that whole aspect of my life or that whole time period. Like, I really kind of surprised myself with what I could overcome. Like, I don't know if you've ever thought about, like, what life would be like if you have no friends, no family, no one you can count on, everyone's dead. Like, if a huge comet came yesterday and just fucking took most of your life away, like, how would you navigate, right? And coincidentally, like, surprisingly, like, I did fairly well. Like, for the amount of people that fucking I had to cut and drop, you know what? It's made me even stronger and more powerful than I could have ever imagined. Like, I really didn't even need those people. Like, they really didn't even know me and they really didn't belong in my story right from the get-go. And you want to know what? It's actually probably a better thing that they're not even a part of it, right? So, that being said, I really love the people that I used to like get with, like, or like be around, and I really cared for them, and I think that they're great. And if I could go back, like, maybe I would, but at the same time too, like, after everything that they put me through and everything I went through with these people, like, I almost don't think it's possible to go back. Like, how would I ever go back now? Like, you showed me how fucking crappy and shitty of a person you guys are. It's like I kind of just want other people to experience what I experienced so that they can understand it for themselves, like I just want you to teach them the way you taught me, how I could not count on you, right? But anyway, I'm just gonna grab a drink. I know you guys are like, it's 11 a.m. What are you doing? But there's a snowstorm where I am, so it's like, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not really doing anything today. Like today is one of those days where I'm just staying in. No, it's coming over. Going nowhere. Bug. Hack. Shit. Honestly, I haven't smoked weed since yesterday, and to be quite honest with you, all I'm thinking, I'm giving it up like cold turkey. Cold turkey. No one loves cold turkeys. Nobody. The thing about it is, look, what I find very critical about this whole thing is, for me, I can smoke weed and I can do anything, right? But there's a lot of people out there that like really hate weed, and it's like, okay, I get it, you hate weed, so do me a favor and go be with people like you that hate weed, and then maybe have a club and have a party and maybe talk about how much you hate weed all the time, and then I'm just gonna go and hang out with people that love weed and that smoke weed and that benefit from weed. Like, you have to understand that it's not a disabling and debilitating drug, and it doesn't take people's lives away, and despite popular belief, like, it's not killing people. Like, the things that are killing people are all the other drugs and all the other fucking and alcohol and fucking car crashes. Like, alcohol is the reason, right? Like, but everyone wants to give weed a bad rep, and it's sad. Like, you can't even OD on weed. Like, if you smoke too much weed, you take a nap and you wake up and you feel like $1 million. But what do I know? Oh my god. Holy Christ, eh? No way. I'm seeing all these photos of Toronto, and it's fucked. Wow. We really did have a powerful storm last night. Toronto's completely fucked right now.
like, girl, she's just a number.
This bitch over here is just a number. She's probably a clone. What's this? Kill 80 lane millions within 10 minutes. Oh, great. Oh, they're a master. Great. Great! But then these three are shit. So... Oh, and to my mother, I just want to say this to my mom. Yo, I fuck black people, I fuck white people, I fuck Asian people, I fuck Korean, I fuck Portuguese, I fucked them all. I fucked them all. Literally fucked them. Thai, fucked them all. So if you have a problem with multicultural fucking, I fucked them all. I fucked all of them. They belong to me now, motherfucker. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Honestly.
Submission or death for all to live.
I
In the
fucked
end,
black
it
people.
matters
I fucked fucking
I
Asian
will
people.
save
I
myself.
fucked them all. I fucked all of them. I fucked them all. Really, there's
lost.
really not much more
Welcome to
left
Summoner's
in
Rift.
terms of fucking because of all the
Away from his
fuckery that I
own
have had in my life. Okay?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yo, they're all up in this bitch.
Her eyes will
They
portions
know
of
what
the
I'm
world
about.
without
Minions have spawned.
The mist is my great, unending sadness.
This team is gonna be tough. I can already tell.
It hurts. My heart. It hurts.
Ugh.
I am
This guy's
already
move,
a
he like
monster.
has like smoke
Suited
that he
for
like
the
has or
horrors I must
whatever.
inflict.
It just like reminds me of like smoke. Like he's supposed to join or something. He's like, I'm ready now. Let's do this, bitch. I know you're a rock golem, but I'm gonna fucking show you what's up.
The shallow isles are just
First blood.
The world denied my happiness. Now, all will die. My forces scour the world. Nothing will escape.
So that guy's gonna be fucking real annoying because majority of his ability is that he can use his ultimate to just fly over to you and start attacking you right away. And if you aren't ready, then he can just destroy you right then and there. And he's really quick. Depending on his items. So I need to get beefy. I need to get beefy quick. So I already started with 3 of the buffs from the beginning.
Fate cannot stop me. Nothing can.
He's going for both beefy.
What is Wraith but the ravenous shadow of a man? I remember her sinking beneath the waters. And then...
Okay, so I'm just gonna go back. How much do I have? I need 200.
That will rob me of beauty. A world that deserves destruction.
Get this bitch next.
Real beautiful ones. This mist has but one cure, and I will find it.
An enemy has been slain.
There is no salvation from the dark, for the dark is me. You face the ruined king. She was the star that lit my path. Without her, darkness. Flow from me. love was the gravest sin. It is such a small and fragile thing.
That was close. Did you see him? Did you see him? Did you see this little bitch? I didn't get the eye, but whatever. Sometimes just getting the kill is everything, you know?
I will take and take until there is nothing left but her. Stand against me. Call me villain.
We have the dragon.
Soon this long, cruel night will end. But not yet. My heart beckons. The black mist flows from me like a tide. At times it ebbs, but now we surge forward. Now we surge forward.
Rampage.
What is lost is never lost to me. You say it is wrong, yet I remain. I want precious little, yet I'm forced to kill for it. Precious little, yet I'm forced. You dare hesitate? Spill fall.
Turret plating will soon fall. An enemy has been slain. Unstoppable.
Really
Shut
close
down.
between this guy, but we've also gotten 2 dragons and a thing.
Curve of her lips, the softness.
Like,
of her
while
smile.
he still has all this, it's like, I still have... Wait, that's not right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Then I got this guy. His ultimate gives me power too. No one on his team has any mythic, so...
She was the star that lit me up. Without her, consume everything.
That's his ultimate, so where is he? Probably down here.
This is my.
I mean, sometimes it's good to cast it if you want to get away and you don't want to see what's going.
An enemy
But
has been slain.
usually use it to get to people. Look, he got a kill already. Fuck.
And so it was that love was the greatest symbol.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
My heart
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. You have slain the enemy. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
the curve of her lips, the softness of her smile.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Oh,
You
got
have
me.
been slain.
She got me. She got my good. So we're gonna get food, and then I'm gonna get
Your turret has been destroyed.
later.
In a world without love, death is.
Killing spree.
Serve me in death.
We just took 3 towers.
Stand against me. Call me villain. It hurts. My heart. It hurts so much.
Yeah, after everything I experienced, man, can I be honest with you? I really don't have much respect for doctors or nurses or anyone in the profession. You can say whatever you want, but, you
The
know,
mist is my grave.
after what I went through, I just really don't say or do or think they want to give you the hell that can gain. I will never fucking stop until I give it to you. I shouldn't say that. You know, games are people too, and that wasn't nice for me. So.
The shadow eyes are just
The west
Rampage.
heaven won't be empty for long.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Viego died when she did. And the ruin
Shut down.
grant me passage. I learned precious little, yet I'm forced to kill for it.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Bring her down! My forces scour the world. Nothing is left.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An ally has been slain.
What is erased but the ravenous shadow of a man? Hate me, fools, until she returns to my arms. All will be brought
Where
to
did
my
that guy go?
Isolde was my life. Viego died when she did, and the ruined king was
Your
born.
team has destroyed a turret. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
You just need one more dragon.
Rampage. Shut down.
No, she remains in this world. I could feel it. We were beautiful once. It is such a small, fragile thing, love.
Oh my gosh! That was so close.
Enemy double kill. Ace.
Nation cannot end. Not yet.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
It's like we won, girl. We fucking won. Don't need to preach home about me.
This mist has run.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Calling out. Viego, save me.
Legendary. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Shut down.
No. She remains in this world. I can feel it.
slain. An enemy has been slain. Victory!
GG. That was quick. $15. The Dark Magician. Okay, let's see. Home. Overview. Purge sports. Sorry, I want this one. Defeat, victory, defeat, victory, defeat, victory, victory. Okay, so I gotta win the next one. That's what I gotta do. 5 games in a row. I don't know who's gonna win. Jungle. See, I really want to win, so. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Oh my god! Why are you showing me this? You
20
bitch!
seconds until minions spawn.
Oh my god, he's terrible. I just watched this guy who's wearing a ring, and they're like, that's why you don't wear rings at work. And it's like, girl, you just stripped his fucking finger. He's like the crypt keeper now. Like, one of his fingers is just a bone. It's just a bone. It's like the crypt keeper. It's like you ripped all the flesh off, and it's just a fucking bone finger.
Minions have spawned.
Don't wear your rings at work. Oh my god, it hurts. Ugh.
What is lost is never lost to me.
Did you just say toking? What a bitch. What a bitch. Look at this bitch. Get her, get her. Oh, GG. I hope I get this as a win. Please get this as a win. Get a treasure box. Oh, they're like, we remain. We saw you were gonna win and we decided to remake. Like, yo, that doesn't even... Personal record. I don't know how you don't know personal record. He's like, children can't own a gun, children can't vote, children can't watch a fucking drag show. Okay? Simple enough. It's like, alright. No children allowed. Girl, my uncle, who is also a pedophile, literally is a woman trapped in a man's body. I don't know how to help people other than let them be who they are, right? That's the only way to help people. I don't know. Yo, his arms and his legs are that of a woman. But everything else is not. So, that is what everyone's stuck on. That's the problem. So, you know. You know, if Jesus was around, I guarantee you he would throw all the gold out of fucking... What is that place called? The Vatican? Yeah. Jesus would show up there one day and he'd be like, all this gold, get it out of here. Get it the fuck out of here. Jesus has no fucking time for this fucking selfishness. Like, why, Jesus? No, why? He's like, this is God's house. It means no money. It means just fucking God. Just worshiping Him. That's all it is. There's no money. There's no fucking gold. It's just about worshiping God. That's all it's about. They want me to top. They want 3 times? Better fucking take 3. Because I ain't doing no one-time shit. So I've been like, ooh, a bunch of people in the city. They're like, again? I'm like, okay. They're like, oh my gosh, okay. No one's ever done this before. I'm like, I'm not like other people. Figure it out. I'm a little bit different. You can't tell now. You're obviously not getting it. So why don't you go back to fucking special camp? Do this lane, so now they're like, oh, do this. I'm like, oh, you never let me do this. You never let me. Why? I really like Ryvan. This character always reminds me of Cara Delevingne. Always. Always, always, always. She's a bitch. We love her.
Light it up.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something really
Let's light it up.
And then we're gonna go. Sometimes this happens.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Why does she support? Actually, let's undo that. Undo. Okay.
We're also concerned about what Demacia is. We forget.
Minions have spawned.
We're also concerned about what Demacia is.
Minions have spawned.
Transform your blurry photos to clear masterpieces.
Stay positive. Stay positive. A beacon in battle. Stay there. Everywhere I go, light follows.
First blood.
Hey, who are you calling a lady?
This bitch.
I don't have dark secrets. I have bright ones.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Gotcha. This is my choice.
No, I should have got this one.
If you can smile, you can be the light. Finding light.
Come on, girl.
You have been slain.
Ugh. Alright, well, good news. I fixed it a little bit.
We all shine on.
There we go.
Like a diamond.